Hello everyone. In this video we'll learn how to create dictionaries and how to perform different operations on them. So dictionary is a very different data object in Python which allows you to store data in this format. Okay, so what exactly is a dictionary? As far as the definition is concerned, you can say that a dictionary is an unordered collection of key value pairs. We'll see what this unordered collection means in the later part of this video. So whenever you have to create a dictionary, you will create it by using curly bracket. Okay, and inside the curly bracket you will write its values like this. So the first thing that you write inside the curly bracket is called as key. Okay, and then you put a colon sign and then you write any type of value here. So when you do this, this value is connected with this key. Okay, and similarly you can write another key and you can assign a value to it, and likewise you can have any number of key value pairs in the dictionary, and each key value pair is separated by the comma sign. So let's write some code here as an example. So suppose I want to create a dictionary, so I'll write D is equal to curly brackets, and here I'm going to write my key as 1. Okay, and I'll put a colon sign and then I assign a value 10 to it. Then I'll put a comma sign, then the next key is 2 and its value 20, 3, 30. So when you press enter key, the Python system creates a dictionary for you. So when you print this dictionary on the screen, it looks like this. Okay, and you can say you have 3 key value pairs stored in the dictionary. Okay, or in simple words you can say you have 3 elements in this dictionary, or the length of the dictionary is 3. You can always use the len function to know the length of the dictionary. As you can see, it says 3 here. So here the keys are this 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and to each key you have a value assigned. So when you ask about values, you have 10, 20 and 30. The value 10 belongs to key 1, the value 20 belongs to key 2 and the value 30 belongs to key 3. Okay, so this is what it is. This way you can say that each value here, okay, is mapped to its key. So the value 10 is mapped to key 1, value 20 is mapped to key 2 and 30 is mapped to 3. The thing here is for you to know that dictionary is a data structure which does not have indices like what you have already seen in cases of strings, list and arrays. So there you have indexing system, but dictionary simply doesn't have indices. So you can use these key values, these keys, as the index or the indices for accessing these values, or in simple terms you can say the indices of a dictionary are the keys inside it, and each value is mapped to a particular key. So this is what you have to remember. So here are few things that you have to remember about dictionaries. So the first thing, as we have already discussed, that what is a dictionary? It is unordered collection of key value pairs. So why are we saying unordered here? I guess it is clear to you now. The reason is that dictionary does not have indices. Okay, that's why we say it has no order in it. So it is unordered collection. The next property is, of course, it doesn't have indices. Then keys act as indices. So I have already told you this. So this is a point to remember. The next point is, any immutable type of value can be the key in the dictionary. So suppose I have created a dictionary here in this example where all the keys are of type integer. So int is an immutable type. So what other immutable type you can have here? You can have strings, you can have floats. So any immutable type you can take as a key. Remember, the key of a dictionary cannot be a mutable type. So for example, you cannot have a list acting as a key in a dictionary. But as far as the value is concerned, the value can be of any type. You can have integer values, you can have string values, you can have list, arrays, or you can have even dictionaries inside dictionaries. Okay, so that is perfectly fine for values. But for keys, you have to remember that it can contain only immutable type of values. So this is what this point is stating. The next is, keys are unique. So once you have a key, like I have 1, 2 and 3 here, so I cannot have any of these 3 keys repeated anywhere in this dictionary. Okay, so once you assign a key, it will remain unique. The next is, a value in a dictionary always belongs to a key. That is, a dictionary maps each key to its value. So we have already discussed this point. A value can be of any type. Again, it is the same thing, and dictionary is a mutable type. You have to remember that. Okay, so along with list, arrays and a few other objects, dictionary is also a mutable type. Okay, so you know what this mutable type means. You can simply overwrite the same memory block here inside the dictionary with different values. So we'll see to it. So I have written few more examples of dictionaries. So let's discuss them one by one here. So in this example, I have taken the keys as integer values 1, 2 and 3, and you can see the values here are of type string. Okay, so this is, again, you can do. And the next example indicates that you can have a dictionary where you have different types of values. Just observe this carefully. So first value is integer value, which belongs to key 1. The second value is a string type value, which belongs to key 2, and the third value is a float type of value, which belongs to key 3. So this is also possible in Python. The third example is this. So if I paste the code here, you can see it now, that here I have taken string values as keys. Okay, so the first key in this example is name, and the second key is marks. And again, the first value is Ajay, which is belonging to this key name, and second value is 98, which is belonging to this key, which is written as marks. So this indicates that you can have string type of values as well, acting as keys in a dictionary. Now in this example, you can see that I have created a dictionary where values are lists. Okay, so this is the key, the first key to which this list belongs. Okay, and for key 2 I have this value. So what is the length of this dictionary? It is 2. Okay, so do not get confused with number of elements inside the list. So when you are saying about how many elements are there, you have to remember that each value written here is one individual unit for the key that you are writing. Okay, so this list is the value for this key and this list is the value for this key. We'll see how do we access elements of a dictionary afterwards. So the next example is this dictionary. Now you have to observe it carefully. I have created a dictionary inside the dictionary. So we have an outer dictionary here, which is our main dictionary, which I am saving in variable D, and inside that dictionary we have inner dictionaries, and these inner dictionaries are acting as values that are belonging to their respective keys. So the first key in the outer dictionary is 1, and for that key 1 I have this value. Similarly, for the second key in the outer dictionary I have this dictionary acting as a value. Okay, so this is also possible in Python. As you can see, this statement works just fine, and we'll see how to access elements in these type of dictionaries, so don't worry about that. I just want you to know that the value part of a dictionary can be any type of value. Okay, so this much is what you should understand at this point of time. So the next thing we are seeing here is how to access elements from a dictionary. So when you're talking about accessing elements from a dictionary, you are talking about accessing values. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. And in order to access these values from the dictionary, you have to rely on the keys. Okay, since dictionary doesn't have indices, so you have to use these keys in order to access any value. So how do you do it? You just write the dictionary name, and just like what you did with list and strings, you have to use the square brackets, and inside the square bracket you have to specify. What do you specify here? Index. Okay, but since we have keys here acting as index, so let me write 2 here for example. So what should it display? Now this 2 will be treated as a key value. So the system automatically finds the key 2 in the dictionary, and the value which is belonging to that key should be printed on screen. Okay, so as you can see in the output. So this is easy, I guess, for you to understand. You just have to supply the key here inside the square bracket and you will be able to get the value. So it is absolutely simple. Another way of accessing elements from a dictionary is to use some specialized functions. So first of those functions is the function keys. Okay, so let me use it here. So I'll write d dot keys. So when you press enter key, it shows all the keys of the dictionary, and right now its data type is dict underscore keys. So don't bother much about this type, dict keys. Okay, just remember that if you want to fetch all the keys from the dictionary, you have this function. Similarly, if you want to fetch all the values from the dictionary, you have a function values. Okay, so you write d dot values and you will have all the values displayed in front of you. So these two functions are quite useful in, when you make real programs on dictionaries. So just remember, and whenever you use keys function or the values function, you will get all the keys and all the values respectively. It is not that you can get only one key or one value at a time by using this keys function or this values function. So that is one thing that you have to remember. You can also do one thing here. Let me erase everything, and suppose this is the dictionary and I want to fetch all the keys. So you can do one thing here. You can simply convert it into a list and then you can print it. So let me do it here. So suppose L is equal to, or let me write L1 is equal to, I'll write list function and I'm going to convert the keys into a list. So how do I get all the keys? I'll write d dot keys function here, and then what it does is it will convert all the keys into list and then store it in variable L1. Fine. So when you print L1, you can see it is converted into a list. So this is easier for you to understand, and this is useful in when you're writing a program where you want to access keys one by one. Similarly, you can convert the values of the dictionary into a list. So L2 is equal to list, and what function do I have to use here? Values. So when you print L2, you can see the values are separated from the dictionary and they are printed in the form of list. So I hope this is clear to you. So there is one more interesting function which is very, very useful in writing programs on dictionaries, and that function is called items. Okay, so this items function returns two things. Okay, the key as well as the value. So just look at it, look at the output here. It has printed 1, 10, 2, 20 and 3, 30. So it is an indication that it is giving me, or it is returning me, two different values. Okay, so the first value is the key and the second value is the value which belongs to this key. And likewise you have all keys and values displayed like this. Okay, so it is displaying right now the output in the form of dict items. Okay, and inside this dict items it is showing that it is in the form of a list. Inside that list I have tuples here. So don't bother much about all these things as of now, otherwise things will be a little complicated for you to understand. So just keep this thing in mind about this items function, that by using items function you are able to access two values at the same time, all the keys and all the values. So that much is what you need to know right now. So we'll use this items function later on with the help of example, and then you will understand this function in a better way. So let's see how do we modify values by using keys here. So suppose if I want to change this value 20, okay, I want to override this value 20 with some other value. So how do you do it? Again, the technique is same. You use square brackets, and inside the square bracket you specify the key. So in this case it is 2, and write 100. So as you can see it works, and you print the dictionary and you can see that the value 20 has been successfully changed, or I should say it is overwritten. Why? Because dictionary is a mutable type. So this change happened at the same memory block that you remember. Okay. So this is what you can do to change the elements of a dictionary. Now, by using this technique, you can also create new entries inside a dictionary. Okay, how do we do it? Let me print the dictionary again, and let's try and insert another key value pair. So you write D, and what is the new key? 4, and you write equal to, and what value you want it to contain. Suppose I want it to have value 40. Okay, it works. And when you print the dictionary, you can see here that a new key value pair is successfully created. So how did it work? So when you had written a new value, or I should say when you had written a key here which is not present in the dictionary, then what it does is, in that situation, it creates that key automatically as a new entry in the dictionary. And then whatever you assign to it, okay, that assigned value will be acting as a value which belongs to that newly created key. So this is how it creates a new key value pair in the dictionary. The next thing is to know how to create empty dictionary. Okay, so you have two ways of doing this. Either you can use the function dict here. Okay, dict is an inbuilt function, which means that you are going to create a dictionary. So as you can see, it has worked, and when you print D, it is empty right now. Another way of creating an empty dictionary is to use these curly brackets and keep them empty. So as you can see, it works. So by using these two ways, you can create empty dictionaries. Now the question is, once you have an empty dictionary like this, how do you fill it with elements? So what you can simply do is, you can write it quite easily like this. So suppose my first key is going to be 1, and I want to assign it a value 100. Similarly, I want to create a new key as 2, and the value for this key should be 200. And another entry, this time the key is going to be 3, and the value is 300. So when you print the dictionary, you can see it works just fine. So this is one way you can create or you can fill the elements inside the dictionary. So just remember one thing, that whenever you are talking about making a new entry in a dictionary, you have to think about both the things, the key as well as the value, and this is how you do it. You can also use a loop to fill an empty dictionary. So let me write code for that. So suppose I have an empty dictionary, and I can easily use a for loop. For example, for I in range, how many key value pairs do I want? Suppose I want 3 key value pairs. So I'll write 3 here, put a colon sign. So what I'm going to do here is, in this program, I'm going to use the value of I as the key. So I'm going to write D and square bracket. And what do you write inside the square bracket? Key. So what key am I creating here? I. So whatever I is will be placed here, and that's what I want. Then equal to, you can ask value from user. Suppose I want a number to be entered, so I have to typecast, and then input enter number, or simply enter value. So that's it. As you can see, this program has been executed and it is asking me a value. So let's enter 10 here. So when you press enter, where has this value 10 gone? Okay, So what it has done is it has stored this value 10 with this key. Okay, so what is the first key? The value of I, the first value of I, which is 0 as per the range function. Okay, so it is D0 is equal to whatever value you specified here. So I specified 10, so it worked as D0 is equal to 10. So you will have a new key 0 to which this value belongs. So the first key value pair generated inside the dictionary at this point of time is 0:10. Similarly, when this loop is coming back, I becomes 1. So here 1 will be placed. So it is D1 is equal to whatever you enter. So this is what it is waiting for here. So let me enter 20, and for the value 1, for the key 1, the value is 20. So the next key value pair generated is 1:20. Similarly, when you enter 30, you have third key value pair. So when you print the dictionary, it works fine. As you can see that 0, 1 and 2 are the keys. These are the values of variable I. Okay, and 10, 20, 30, these values were entered by user here. Okay, so this is how you can apply a loop to fill a dictionary with key value pairs. The second way of filling an empty dictionary is this. So suppose I have an empty dictionary, I can apply the same loop again. So for I in range 3, okay, I still want to create 3 key value pairs in it. So inside the loop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask key to be entered by user. So suppose I want this key, or let me change it to another variable name as RNO. So this is roll number of a student, okay, and I want the roll number to be treated as a key. So roll number is equal to int input enter roll number, and the second value I want is name. So I'll write name is equal to, I don't need a number, so I'll directly use input function here, and I'll say enter name. Okay, so what's happening here? Roll number, which is entered as an integer value, and name, which is entered as a string value, should be inserted in this dictionary as a key value pair. So remember this statement. You have to write the dictionary name, which is D, square brackets, and what do you write inside the square bracket? Key. So what is the key here? RNO. Okay, and to this key, what value you want to assign? I want to assign name. So I hope this statement is clear to you. Let's run this code and see if it works or not. So it is asking me to enter roll number. Let me enter 1, name Raj. So when I press enter now, okay, this one and this Raj has been successfully inserted as a key value pair inside the dictionary because of this statement. Similarly, second time when it is asking me to enter roll number, I'll enter 2 and suppose another name, and third time and another name. So our program is now complete, and let's print the dictionary. So here you can see it works just fine. Okay, so this is also you can do for filling up dictionaries, where you can ask keys as well as values, and then you can create key value pairs inside the dictionary. So I guess it is quite easy for you to understand. So let's try and write a program here. This program is going to check whether a key is present in the dictionary or not. So for example, if I have this dictionary, okay, where I have roll number and a name, okay, roll number and name, roll number and name. So what I want here is I'll be entering a roll number and it should print the value which belongs to that roll number. It should print the name which belongs to the roll number. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me switch over to PyCharm and here I'll write the code. Fine. So let's create the dictionary first. So D is equal to curly bracket 1 colon Raj, second entry is 2 colon Ajay, and third entry is Vijay, for example. So we have 3 key value pairs. Now I want user to enter a roll number, so I'll store it like n is equal to int, then input, enter roll number. So this value n should be searched in the dictionary. So the problem here is that I cannot apply a loop on this dictionary in a way that we have seen in cases of lists and strings, that is by using indices, because the dictionary simply doesn't have indices. So again, you can use the keys function or the values function or the items function to perform looping on the dictionary. So in this case, I am going to use the keys function. So just observe it carefully. So I'll write for I in D dot keys. Okay, so as you have already seen, the keys function will give me all the keys of this dictionary one by one, and these key values will be given to variable I one by one. So the first value which is coming in this variable I is what? This 1. The second value will be 2 and the third value will be 3. So I have already stored the roll number that I want to search in this variable n. So I can simply put an if condition here. If n and the incoming value of I are same. So what does this condition mean? That is, this is the roll number I want to search. And when this condition is true, you can simply print its value. So you just have to write D and inside the bracket I. Okay, so this is the logic. So let me run this program now and see what happens. Okay, so here you can see it is asking me to enter roll number, which is to be searched in the dictionary. So suppose I enter 2. It works fine. It prints the value Ajay. But what happens when you don't have that roll number which you are entering here in the dictionary? So let me re-execute this program and show it to you. So suppose I am entering the value 10 here. As you can see, nothing is printed. Okay, so this program is working fine, but in this case I should have got the message as the roll number is not present, something like that. Okay, so to do it, you have to understand one very important concept. What students do generally, they just put an else here and they print not found. Okay, so they assume that if this condition is not true, that means the key is not present in the dictionary. That means the roll number is not present in the dictionary. Okay, and then when it is not present, print not found. So this program is not correct actually. Let me run this and you can observe it yourself. So suppose I enter 3 roll number here. So this is what the problem is with this program. So when you entered roll number 3, it says not found 2 times, and then it prints Vijay, and it has found it actually. Okay, so definitely this output is wrong. So the problem in this code is that when you entered 3 as a roll number, okay, in variable n. So when the first condition is false, because the first incoming value of I is 1, and what do we have in n? 3. So 3 and 1 are not equal, so it directly jumps to the else part and it prints not found. Same thing happens when the loop executes second time, because the second time the incoming key is 2 and 2 is compared with 3. So again it is not true, the condition. It goes to the else part, prints not found. But when it comes third time this condition is true, and hence it prints the value which belongs to that roll number. So this is the logical error in this code. So you cannot write this else here inside the loop, because it will be executed as soon as this condition becomes false. But we cannot do it inside the loop, okay, because the value you are searching can be present anywhere in the dictionary, okay. So you cannot put this else here. Simple. They often put this else part here outside the loop, else, and then they print not found. Although it is not going to show any error, but again this is wrong. Why? Because this else here is no longer belonging to this if condition. Let me run this program and show it to you what is the problem with this code. So suppose I enter a roll number as 3, okay. So you can see the problem with this code. It shows the name alright, but it shows not found as well. So what is happening here? When you have written this else part outside the loop, it no longer belongs to this if condition. That is the first thing, okay. The next thing is this else in that case is becoming an independent statement. In fact, this else has no meaning here at all. So you can say this line is going to be executed every time you run the program. Whether this condition is true or false, it doesn't have to do anything with that. So this is also logically wrong. So how to print this not found message in this situation? So there may be several different ways of doing it, but the easiest one is what I am showing you. So to solve this, you can simply put an if condition outside the loop, and you can use the membership operator here. So I can simply write if the roll number I am looking for is not in the keys of the dictionary. Okay, so what does this mean? You remember d.keys will give all the keys, and this n is being checked among all the keys. So that's what this membership operator does. Okay, I hope you already know this. So this condition is going to be true only when the roll number you're looking for is not present in the dictionary. So you can now print a message not found. Okay, so our program is complete now. Let's see if it works or not. So if I enter roll number 10, it says not found, which is absolutely correct. And when you run it again, and when I enter roll number 3, it prints the value. So I hope this logic is clear to you. You can also write this code like this. You can remove this keys function and you can simply write D here. Okay, so it is the same thing. Whenever you write the dictionary name in a loop or in a condition, okay, just listen to what I'm saying again. Whenever you use the dictionary name inside a loop or in a loop or in a condition, it is treated as if you are looking in the keys. Okay, you are going to get keys. So it is same as d.keys. Whether you write this keys function or you don't write the keys function, by default it is taken as keys. So let me run this program and you can check it for yourself. I'm entering the roll number 30, for example. It is saying not found, and I'm executing it again. Roll number 3, it says Vijay. So this is an indication that this program is working the same way. So just remember this one property, that whenever you write a dictionary name with a loop or with a condition, by default it is considered as keys, not values, guys. Okay, so don't get confused with that. So I hope whatever I have explained in this video is clear to you about dictionaries. If you have liked the content, please comment, like and share, and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.